D once again we are back at it. Forgot to even hit the live button for the intro, so you guys missed it, but that's okay. We'll put it on the outro. It's the Build and Destroy show. Wicked Meticulous, May Dolly, High Rise, and we got a special guest in the house today. I'll let May give us our introduction on this guest since he is the booker.
I wanted to say real quick, if anyone's listening, I got on a different device. I got my phone. So if you fucking around and want to say something on the say peace and ask questions on the live chat, I could actually read them off. I'm gonna be monitoring.
All right. That's
Yes,
good
sir.
news.
Yes, sir. All right, man. We got Damian, aka Love Smokey. I wanted to bring him on. I play open gym basketball every Sunday at Squaxin Island Res. I always see him there. It's either me or him there first. And I wanted to bring him on. He actually was casted in a movie, what was that, 2024?
Yeah,
Res
we
Ball.
filmed it in 2023.
Yeah, so homie got casted in a movie on Netflix called Res Ball. Uh, Movie based off a book called Canyon Dreams, a basketball season on Navajo Reservation. Um, LeBron James was known for producing the movie, that ended up in the headlines and whatnot. But we just want to talk to you and talk about how you got casted in this movie opportunity. And I'm aware that you do music as well. So we're kind of we're gonna bounce back and forth between film and music, and we just gonna go around in a circle. You're gonna get hit with questions, and like you said, you ready? You ready to answer? You're
Um,
transparent, and let's go.
let's do it.
I want to ask you first and foremost. I noticed that you was I read the article. It said you was Puyallup native, but I've known you more for growing up on Squaxin Island Reservation. So talk about being on multiple reses, going back and forth, and how that kind of made you who you is today.
Yeah, bro. To be honest, like I was saying, is I'm enrolled Puyallup, but bro, I'm a Squaxin baby, man. Like I was raised out there. That's the only place I ever lived until I was 18, and it's like being enrolled a tribe and then being from another one. You're bound to hear shit. You're bound to hear the good and bad. Like Squaxin's not a poor tribe at all. They're not poor, but Puyallup they get what you would say more benefits, more like more money revenue. And hearing that is like, and people know that. And when they found out I'm Puyallup, they're like, "Oh shit, remember me when you turn 18? You'll never have to work again." And hearing that, I'm like, I'm the only Puyallup out here that's hearing this right now. So it was like it just made me feel outed. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm like, man, I'm Squaxin to the core. Like I just said, I come from the two biggest families in Squaxin. I'm more Squaxin than I am Puyallup. And it just, I felt outcasted. I felt like I was the only one, even though I wasn't the only one, but, that came with it.
Um, well, we are mostly a hip hop podcast. We're all hip hop artists, but we we try to do other art or other things in the community. But um, I heard you mention your age earlier, so you are quite a bit younger than us.
Yeah.
But I would just like to hear how you fell in love with hip hop, how you became a hip hop artist. Just basically how that bug bit you, and just the genesis of all of that.
Shit, bro. It started when I was young, man. Like my pops, bro, I was raised by a black family and a native family. My dad's black and music, like rap music, it's just been so big within him himself. So he came into my life when I was 2 years old. And my first memory that I have, like one of the first memories I have is listening to like Mac Dre, Lil Wayne, um, Tupac. My dad's a real West Coast. He's all about the West Coast. He ain't never listened to no Biggie Smalls, Bone Thugs. You know, he's West Coast to the core. He would always tell me that when I would put on Biggie, he'd be like, "Man, we're on the West Coast. Why are you playing this?" I'm like, "Dad, this isn't the '90s. Like, come on, man. We ain't death row. You know what I'm saying?" And but I just been big on that. I want to say like Sunday or whatever, my parents would always just play that and we'd clean. You know, they'd play some like old school. Like I said, my latest memories is just cruising in no car seat. I should have been in one. Cruising in no car seat with my dad driving, and he's playing Mac Dre. I got him tatted on my skin too, because that's like the first artist that I was really like,
Yeah.
he got some ism to him, man. That's
Oh,
some
yeah.
flavor. You know what I'm saying? And that's how I always wanted to be. I thought this man right here is how I want to be. You know what I'm saying? On some ism shit, like smooth, soft as cotton, you know what I'm saying? And but hard, you know what I'm saying? And that's just how I always wanted to be, man. Music has always been so big to me, bro. Music. It's like life without music would be nothing at all, in my opinion. You know, I never really spent time watching movies or cartoons. Man, I was always on MTV watching the music videos. You know what I'm saying? So music is just my first love.
So it was all around you, and your parents and especially your dad are hip hoppers.
Yeah.
But how did you actually start to do it?
Start to do it is like so my mom always used to tell me stories about when I was younger and I would like hold a remote in my hand as a microphone and like dance around while I was in a diaper, bro. I'm talking like 3 years old with a microphone remote. And my mom would always say, she would be like, he's gonna make music one day, when I was hella young. And I didn't think about it until I got into middle school. And one of my friends, he started making music and he was getting hella love for it. But in my head, I was like, this ain't no rap, bro. Like, what is this? And I was like, I could do that. I could, man, tell a story within my shit. So I started, and you know how shit is when you're a kid and you're doing something different, you're gonna get hate for it. Motherfuckers always got something to say. And I would always be told, man, you gotta stop that shit. You're not going anywhere with it. You're not going anywhere with it. But I was always raised like quitting ain't no option. You know, if I want something, I'm gonna get it, regardless of what people say to me. And I just kept going, bro. I started when I was 12 years old, 13. And shit, I'm 23 now, 10 years. And it's just that one thing stuck in my head is I ain't gonna quit this. I'm gonna keep going, you know. And there is some setbacks in life. Like I got kids now, you know, I can't spend my life in the studio. And I started it at 13 just because I was like, if he could do it, shit, I could do it. And maybe I could do it a little better. You know what I'm saying? But that me being a kid, that's all I thought about. But now it's like, man, I'm humble about this shit. I do this as an activity, bro. This isn't my career. You know what I'm saying?
So let me ask one more question, Wicked, before you get it. So is this in Squaxin Island at this
Yeah.
age? So
Yeah.
how do you just start, how do you get beats? What do you start doing? Do you start writing the instrumentals like
Shit,
just off
when I
YouTube?
first started,
Yeah.
shit, bro. When I first started, I had no equipment at all, bro. Like I was going to Walmart getting the old school fucking microphones and shit. I had no equipment. So I used to go on, and it's crazy, bro. I always used to look up like Tupac type beat, Biggie Smalls type beat, you know, because I wanted that real old school boom bap shit, you know. So I would put it on a laptop or my TV in my room on YouTube, type it in, play the beat, and then I'd put my phone on recording on like voice memos, and I'd sit next to the TV, like here's the TV right here. I'd sit with the phone and I'd just rap into the phone. I had no microphone. That's how I would do it, you know, and then I'd post it on like SoundCloud or whatever there was. But yeah, I ain't getting into no studio until I was like 17, 16. So for 3 years, I was doing that bullshit.
Hey, my oldest recording is recording on. We had a mic, but it's definitely the beat playing out of the speakers into the mic at the same time as we're rapping.
Yeah.
Yeah, before any software or anything like that.
Mhm.
Well, I guess my question for you, I guess I would go in terms of style. Um, I know you said Mac Dre is your favorite and the first that really got you going.
Yeah.
Would you say that your style is more pattern after his, or do you have a mixture of other artists? If you were to kind of describe your style using other rappers.
Shit, bro. My whole life, bro, it's like a ladder. You know what I'm saying? I started and I'm humble as can be now, I could tell you. I started biting shit. I was biting flows, biting type beats, you know, because I wanted to fit in what was popular. You know what I'm saying? So like when I first started making music when I was 13, like YG was popular, Drake, of course. So I was like kind of like trying to do that same shit. But nowadays, bro, it's like I'm more of like I'm trying to tell my story. I want you to hear my pain. I want this to feel raw to you. You know what I'm saying? Like you could hear it all. So now it's like I'm trying to go with like J. Cole, Kendrick Lamar, shit like that, bro. So it's always been different patterns. You know what I'm saying? I go through phases. But now it's like I'm just trying to make you feel me, bro. You know what I'm saying? So I guess I have my own style.
Okay.
Uh, y- you were in that movie. I wanted to ask about the music. Did you have any input with the soundtrack or any of the music that was playing through that movie? Or do you, second question, do you co-sign the soundtrack of the movie? Because I thought,
Nah, uh, go ahead. What were you gonna say?
no, I was just gonna say, I thought they played good current music, and
Yeah.
I don't know. I figured you being there, if you had any input, you would have laid it down.
Yeah, at first I wanted to be on the soundtrack, bro. Like I wanted my music to be on there. But at the time, bro, I was so like self-sabotaging myself, bro. I was not talking about nothing good in my music. Nothing good at all. It was like murder music. You know what I'm saying? So I played that to one of the damn sound guy at
Yeah.
Red Bull, and he was like, "We ain't throwing this in there.
Mhm.
Oh, yeah.
We ain't throwing this in here." So I was like, "Damn, like fuck." That made me really think about like, damn, I need to change shit up and try making a song that isn't just that. You know what I'm saying? So but like Travis Thompson, he was the main he did the main song that was in the movie, and I helped him with that. I he hit me up and was like, "Hey, they asked me to do this. They asked me to make a song about the movie. Can you give me some ideas? Can you give me like something about the movie?" And I broke the whole movie down to him, and he came up with that, and it was shit. It's pretty damn good song.
It really is. What was it like traveling to be in that movie, being a coastal native and then going over that way?
Yeah, bro.
Did you have a culture shock or was it
Hell yeah.
we're
I had every shocker when I went over there. Cause like you said, I'm coastal. I'm Coast Salish. They're plains over there. They ain't never held no king salmon. They ain't never gill netted. They run with the buffalo. So when I went over there and it's dry as hell, bro. Like I asked them, I was like, "Y'all got any oceans around here?" And they were
was
like, "No,
looking for
we got."
trees, huh?
Yeah, they were like, "We got pools." I was like, "Bro, have you ever seen an ocean before?" They're like, "Nah, on TV I have." I was like, "Fuck, bro, my ocean's right back door, man. We could walk to that." And it was just a culture shock, bro. Like us natives over here, bro, we're built stocky, we're built small, because we're canoe paddlers. That's just where our people come from. So when I went over there and everybody's 6 foot, everybody's dark as hell. I was like, damn, like looking at myself, do I even fit in out this motherfucker? You know what I'm saying? And I got coastal tattoos on my body, and they let me keep it too. So it was like, hell yeah, they're letting me keep that coastal. You know what I'm saying? They're letting me keep where I come from. But it was like traveling was beautiful because I got to learn the Dene language, the Navajo language, and it's like, hell yeah, I really like we were talking about is it was different, but it was the same, man. We're all native. We're all from the res. We understand each other, even if it is completely different. You know what I'm saying? So it was good being out there. It was really good.
I feel like basketball and independent movie making and film and cinema and underground hip hop is like a real plays real important part, at least in different reservations or places that I've visited.
Oh yeah.
Some of my friends that I've just been blessed to meet throughout my life.
Yeah.
Um, how did have you? I know you're still young, and I don't know where you stay now, but I know you know Squaxin Island's kind of close to Olympia and stuff. But have you gotten a chance to do hip hop live and go to shows and be a part of a hip hop community, or have you got the chance to perform at like different reservations or film festivals, or like is live hip hop part of you?
Yes. So around like 2022, before we even went to go film Resball, I opened up my first ever show. I opened up for Bravo the Bag Chaser in Seattle. And it was crazy, man. Like I was nervous, but then when I got on there and everybody was loving me, the lights were down low. Man, they were loving me. So I was like, I fell in love with this. The attention is just all I ever wanted. All I ever wanted, the attention. Everybody's looking at me. I got the mic in my hand. The attention is on me, so I loved it, bro. And then after that, I opened up for DB About a Bag. I opened up for EBK Young Jock. Um, Opened up for some smaller Seattle artists. So I've done like 6 shows, 7 shows in my life, but now I'm set to perform in Northern California for a native little music festival. So I'm ready for that. I haven't done it since 2022, so I don't know how I'm gonna do, but I'm sure I'm gonna fall in love with it again.
And let us know where that with the when and where, because we're traveling through that area later on this year.
Yeah, I'll for sure let you guys know. I'll send you a flyer right when I get it.
That would be a fun stop. Yeah. Cool.
Well, I thought it's interesting that you're in a movie called Resball.
Yep.
And you and May are playing basketball at a gym on a reservation.
Yeah.
Resball.
So why don't you tell us the story on how you got this movie role? Because I personally, I haven't seen the movie, but I do remember when it came out seeing the clips.
Yep.
I just don't have Netflix because I'm cheap, but that's a whole nother story. But why don't you tell us how you got this movie role, and do you have any plans for pursuing acting as something like for real?
Oh yeah, bro. How I got the role is like I said, in late 2022, in like October, November, I was just chilling in my room one day, and my boy he sent me a casting call screenshot and was like, "Yo, bro, LeBron's about to produce this movie, bro. You should put your name in there." And at this time, bro, like I was saying, I had nothing to live for, bro. I had nothing to lose and everything to prove. The last thing that I ever wanted to do was shoot a movie, bro. I told him that. I was like, "Bro, I'm in here. I'm trying to shoot, but not no movies." And he was like, and mind you, he's a good kid. He's a really good kid. He grew up right. He loves basketball. He ain't in the streets. He has no thought about being in the streets. And he was like, get your head out of your ass, bro. Like, put your name in there. Like, what is that gonna hurt? What is that gonna do to you? And I was like, fuck it, I might as well. Sent a picture of myself to the casting agent, and she was like, I really like the look of you. I want you to I'm gonna fly you to Albuquerque, and so you could read in front of us the cast. And at first I was like, Mom, I got these people trying to fly me to Albuquerque to be in this movie. And my mom's was like, man, that's a scam. That's a scam. And I was like, no, Mom, I'm gonna trust it. So I hit her up and I was like, okay. And she sent me a flight number. She sent me a taxi to pick me up, everything. And then flew me first class to Albuquerque. I get there and there's hella people in there. There's hella people in there. Mind you, I was picked out of 5,000 people. And there's a couple people in there who wanted to play my part, and I had to play one-on-one basketball with him. I was talking to the kid. I was talking to the other kid. I was like, "Hey, you ever play ball?" And he was like, "Yeah, I played college ball." In my head, I'm like, "Fuck, I only played res ball, bro. Like, you out here, you know how to hoop for real." And then we were playing. I got the ball first time to touch the ball. It was me, and I was dribbling, and I hit him with a step back, a nasty step back, swished it, and then she walks up to me with a whiteboard that says my name, and it says Ruckus Largo. And I get on the phone with my mom. I'm like, I got the part. I got the role in this movie, Mom. My mom's like, shit, I knew you would. I knew you would. Mind you, before that, I was complaining to her. I was like, this kid played college ball, Mom. I'm about to lose this. I'm about to come right back home. And then we did that. And then I went home. I got a funny story to tell. Well, it's not really funny. It was kind of serious at the time. But right when I come home, I fly into Seattle and I drive back to my house in Olympia. And my neighbor's on some bullshit yelling at me about my loud car. And I was still in that headspace where it's like, I have nothing to lose, bro. So me and him start arguing, and I tell him, like, hey, bro, like, fuck all this talking. Like, we could, you know what I'm saying? And he called the cops on me. And he in there punching himself and shit. So it would look like the cops, when they get there, he's like, yeah, he got a black eye, he got a busted lip. And the cops start talking to me, and I'm like, yo, look at my hands. There ain't nothing on my hands, and this guy's bloody. And I was like, man, bro, I just got done in Albuquerque. I'm supposed to be in a movie, bro. And the cop looked at me and was like, I'm gonna trust you on this. I'm gonna just let you go.
Wow.
I was like, hell yeah. And then the next day, I didn't even know it was clear that I was gonna be in the movie yet. And the next day, I get a phone call at 7 a.m. I answer it. I'm like, hello. And she's like, hey, Damian, I'm just letting you know you got the part. Woke me up. I was like, what you mean I got the part? And she's like, pack your bags. She was like, pack your bags. We're flying you out in 12 days. And I was like, shit, bro. Like, jumping up and down like it's Christmas morning, and I'm calling my mom. I got the part, Mom. I got the part. And then they flew me to Albuquerque. I was there for 3.5 months, which was a shocker because I ain't never been so far away from my family, especially for that long. But it was a good feeling. It was a really good feeling, man. But getting the part, like I said, there's chapters to it, man. Like, I could have went to jail. I could have risked not even getting the part, but I did anyways. So I'm glad to be where I'm at.
Is it on me? I lost track.
It's on me.
Okay.
You mentioned the step back in the movie. You do that sometimes on Sundays. I wanted to ask, when you got there, were you already confident in your basketball skills?
Hell no.
Or did you think that was going to be what it took to make the movie? Like, oh, if I'm not good at ball, then I ain't going to make it.
Yeah, because that's what they were looking for. They weren't looking for actors. They were looking for people who knew how to play res ball.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
And res ball's different. You know that. We ain't calling no fouls. Fuck a foul. You know what I'm saying? So I'm in there. This kid's playing college ball on me, and I'm hitting him with the elbows. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I went in there with the thought of, I got to show them res ball and how it really is. I ain't going in there. I'm not showing them college ball or high school ball, man. What res ball's two different sports, in my opinion. So it's like I went in there and I really wasn't confident because I was like, fuck, like this kid's a college baller. Like, are they looking for somebody who's like that for real, you know? So I just showed them res ball and that got me the part. You know what I'm saying? Because you know it's different. I
It
know
is.
it's different. So I just had to show them what it really was, you know?
Where's the toughest hoopers at, and all the different places that you've hooped at from your whole life, through the movie, everywhere, all across the states? I'm talking a city, a reservation. What's the heart most? That's the spot. Who's got it?
It's Skokomish.
Okay.
Skokomish right there next
Yeah.
to Squaxon. They're the hardest hoopers I ever got to play
Yeah.
against. Because
From
that's,
the adults to the kids, yeah.
yeah,
What's
their
that like?
res,
Oh wow.
their res is just different, man. That's all they got is basketball. That's all they got. They're in the middle of nowhere. That's all they got is basketball. And that's where you find the hardest basketball players is all they have is basketball. You know, so playing against them every time I was like, coach would be like, yeah, we play Skoke next week. I'm like, fuck, dude. Just put us as the loser already. Fuck. You know what I'm saying? Because I grew up loving ball, like me and Boo were talking about, man. I used to sleep with a basketball. You know? I would have that shit right in my bed with me. And but one person can't make a team, man. One person can't carry it all the way unless you a Kobe Bryant, you know, but I had like 3 people from my res that really loved basketball as much as I did. So we would all put in, but Skulk, man, for sure, they're #1 in my opinion.
Shout them out. That's what's up.
Yeah.
It's good to hear a local spot. It's got it like that.
Hell yeah, they do. You got to go watch their tournaments, man.
Well, you mentioned the shows that you got on, several in that 2022 run. Um, is there anyone that you wanted to shout out as far as helping you, producer, some whoever's helping you get the shows themselves, or engineer helping you record songs? So now you're not recording into your from your TV.
Yeah, so bro, I've only hit the like actual studio in my life like a handful of times, bro. Like an actual recording studio. I always I got a MacBook, I got an iMac, so I got my own setup. You know, I've always just had my own setup. But like one person that I would really shout out for helping me is my manager, man, Jay the Menace. He really helped me a long ways. Like he would take time off work just to get things situated, and you know, my hands go up to him all the time because man, he helped me out. He gave me that confidence to be like, nah, bro, you got it. You know, so that's one person I would really shout out to that really helped me. It's Jay the Menace.
Go ahead, man.
What was the last song that you played today before you got on here?
The last song here, let me look. The last song I played was Nobody by Keith Sweat.
I love
You know
that
what I'm
song.
saying?
Oh shit, nobody.
That's
Yeah,
time.
Okay.
yeah. That's the last song I
Very,
played, bro.
very official. Very official.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my cleaning up shit at my house, man. I put that shit I put some Keith Sweat on the TV.
Mhm.
I put on some fuck, what's his name? Coolion. I fucking put them all on, bro, and just clean, man. That's my shit
Oh
right there.
yeah, you got a black parent for sure.
Yeah, for sure, brother. Hell yeah, he laced me up, man. He laced me up.
Well, like, you know, I mean, Res Ball, it blew up and got real big that year. And um, what are some of the places that you got to go, and some of the people you got to meet, some of the situations that you just were like, wow, I can't believe it. I'm here now. This is, you know, unbelievable.
Shit, bro. During the filming, we went everywhere in New Mexico. We went to Gallup, Santa Fe, Albuquerque. Shiprock, and meeting all those people, it was still just like, man, I'm on a basketball tournament right now. Like, it didn't click to me that I was in a movie until it came out, and my whole life changed. But meeting everybody, like, bro, since the movie came out, dog, I went to Toronto to walk the red carpet. I've traveled through many reses to go talk to the youth. I've I've helped coach basketball teams. Like, man, it opened up so much doors for me. So much. Cause like one word that Bull was just saying, May, he was saying that the best networking is word of mouth. The best promotion is word of mouth. So meeting everybody, man, you could meet somebody and they could change your life that day. So meeting all these celebrities and all these people who came from where I came from, not location wise, but mental wise, talking to them about it, it just, man, it opened up everything to me. So meeting these people was like, man, I made it. I did it. You know what I'm saying? And I'm still not, yeah, res ball's big, but it's not big in the world. That's just big on Indian country. Natives love it. When I go to native events like powwows, canoe journeys, I get so much love out there. But when I'm walking through Walmart, the average white person ain't gonna know me. You know what I'm saying? It's a good feeling. It's a really good feeling.
I hear what you mean.
Well, I know you said you're now currently in Tacoma.
Yep.
Outside of the Native Festival coming up for a performance, are you working on any new music? Do you have any new music that you've released recently since that 2022 run that we should be aware of, or plans?
The last song that I dropped was back in August, bro. So I've been holding off. I'm working on an album right now called Medicine Creek. It's after the treaty that my tribe's assigned with, the Medicine Creek Treaty. And this one's just coming straight from the heart, man. I'm talking my language, my people. I'm just talking about what it means to be from Medicine Creek Treaty. You know what I'm saying? So I'm working on that right now. I don't know when a release date or how many songs or anything of those logistics, but that's one thing that I'm working on right now.
That sounds fire.
Yeah.
Oh, I got a follow-up question. What can you tell me is what's the connection with black people and natives up here in Washington and the Salish tribes? It seems like that seems to be a theme, considering the two of you right now are on one podcast representing both cultures. What I've talked about it somewhat with May, but I feel like it would be a good, more in-depth conversation with the two of you.
Shit, I would say a connection is like basketball, music. I don't like to take pride in this. Nobody does, but a lot of natives, man, they're racist. You know what I'm saying? And they're like a joking racist. They think it's a joke. And growing up with a black dad, when my cousins would like make jokes and say shit like that, it just never made me laugh. It ain't never make me join in with you. It always be like, man, my dad's black, my little brother's black, bro. Like, hey, you don't gotta say that around me, cause I ain't got the word to change you and how you act when I'm not around. But when I'm around, don't be talking like that near me. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I'm not black in my blood. I'm not black, but I am black. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, don't, you know what I'm saying? There's a connection there where it's like, and it goes deeper than the connection of today, man. Us two people, Native Americans and African Americans, we went through the same shit. we went through slavery, we went through genocide, you know, so it's like that's where we connect. We feel that. We feel generational trauma, you know, so that's one thing, one connection that I could say. You know, May could probably say the same thing.
Yes.
Look, we got someone in the chat saying big up to Res Ball from one native to another. I think this I can't remember who this is. May, are you in the chat?
Check it.
Nah.
TCMH Music has been on here before. I can't remember who it is.
Me neither. Well, thank you.
Big ups, man. Worldwide too, nation to nation. It's like what I say. Nation to nation.
Well, were you bit by the acting bug? Is that something that you've been pursuing and
Yeah.
want to keep pursuing? And what might we? Is there anything in the future that we can look towards seeing you in?
So I signed agreements, you know, to not really discuss a lot of the things that I have, but there is a lot of things that I have. You know what I'm saying? So I got a manager now. Shout out Randy Cayenne. And I used to have an agent, but he left that shop. But still, shout out to Scott Reynolds. They really do their thing behind the scenes to find me all these roles. They really do their thing, you know. And there's many more to come because I do want to act. You know, that's like what I've always wanted to do since I was young. I just love the attention. I loved having attention on me, and what better attention than a camera on you? You know what I'm saying? That the world's gonna watch. That was my big thing. Is like, yeah, this is what I want to do. Since I did Res Ball, I was like, yeah, this is what I want to do. And there's good and bad that came with being in a movie. You know, especially being a young man, you're in a relationship, you got all these fangirls, these groupies. You know what I'm saying? It's like so much shit came from that, but I'm glad that I I'm glad that I see that. You know what I'm saying?
What comes easiest for you, making music, playing basketball, or acting?
Making music. Making music for sure, man. You throw on a beat, I'll shut my eyes and I'll get a 16 going quick. You know what I'm saying? But I gotta write it down. I'm not really good at freestyling. But making music, man, it's just natural for me, man. I've been doing this longer than I've been doing anything else. Basketball too, you know, I know how to play basketball. I'm not gonna say that I'm the greatest of all time or the best person I've ever played, you know, but
Sure.
making music for sure, man. That's the most natural thing that I could do these days.
Got it. So when we hear music from you, it's usually you usually made the beat, recorded it, and just uploaded it.
Yeah.
Cool.
Easy too.
Yeah.
Well, May, you want to end with a final question?
Yeah, I'll end it with where do you see, you know, just like I said, we got open gym started up on the res again. Where do you see that going? Do you think it's going to succeed, or do you think it's going to start off hot and then fade off? Or what?
Shit, that's how it always goes. It starts
Yeah,
off
like
hot.
what could we do to keep these kids engaged and keep them outdoors and
I
running
think
around?
I think just being influenced, bro. You know, the res is looking real dry, bro, real scary. You know what I'm saying? Like these kids, man, they all got a vape in their pocket. They all got a phone in their hand, you know, and it's just scary, bro. So I think the one thing that we could get to bring everybody together, especially the youth, because they matter the most, is just be active, man. Be an influencer. Influence them to do good. not do bad. You know, growing up, I had an influence that was a bad influence. Man, I looked at, like I was saying, music played a big part in that too, you know? Everybody would make music about selling drugs, killing people, being a gang member, you know? So a lot of us think that's how a man is supposed to be, especially a man of color, you know? So it's like I was influenced, badly influenced, and I was guided down a path that ultimately made me lose a lot of things. So now it's like I'm trying to influence the youth to realize there's something bigger in this world, man. I always live by this saying, the world gets bigger than the res. You know, there's people on reservations right now that think all they have is the res. You know, like my uncles, my grandpa, everybody, they have never left the res. That's all they have. You know, so I just always tell the youth, man, the world gets bigger than the res. Once you leave the res, you'll realize how big the world truly is. Leave. You know what I'm saying? Like you could always come back, but go explore something new. I want the youth to do better. You know, I want them to see life for what I see it now and not what I seen when I was a kid. So one thing that we could get to bring everybody closer and really realize that basketball is a big thing and it teaches you a lot is just be a good influence. Show the kids that this is what cool is. You don't gotta vape, you don't gotta do drugs. That shit's not cool to me, you know?
I
Fire.
like that.
Leaving the youth with a positive message.
Hell
Yeah.
yeah. Always, always.
Well, before we let you go, what's your social medias that you want people to follow for you individually, and then for your music on Spotify or Apple Music? What are we looking for?
On Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, I go by Love Smokey, LUVSMOKEYY, two Y's, and love as in LUV. And you could get at me on there. Usually I be making my posting about my clothes because I got a clothing brand. But music is for sure coming up. The weather's looking better. Man, we finna take over this shit. And not like last year. You know what I'm saying? We doing it.
Word. Well,
Thank you,
I
man.
appreciate y'all. I appreciate y'all for listening to me. Everybody on here, not just the ones who are gonna listen. I'm talking about you guys.
Mhm.
For real.
Salute.
Thank you for asking me questions and taking your time to listen and not letting no distractions come in, you know, because everybody has a story to tell. And I'm glad that you guys stuck around to listen to mine.
Thanks for tapping in, man.
hell
Of
yeah, we
course.
appreciate you coming on, and we we
We're
we
proud to have you on. Somebody that has, is doing music and is young, and also somebody that is successful in a field that we're not a part of, but we're happy to promote it and try to shine some light on it and just listen to your stories. So it's cool. I think a lot of young people want to act and don't necessarily just know
Yeah.
how or to do just how to get involved. So
Yeah, and I got all the keys, man. Whoever's listening to this and you want to act, I got all the keys, man. Like I could help you out. I could really help you out. And a lot of people, I tell a lot of people this and they just brush it off like, okay, you could help me out. But they never take the time to like, hey bro, like, can you actually help me out? But anybody listening, any youth, anybody older than me, it doesn't matter. Age doesn't matter in this Hollywood business. I could help you out if you trust me with it. So anybody listening, man, tap in my Instagram. Just tap in with me. I can help you out.
damn, that's a blessing.
Yeah.
hey,
All
you
you
heard it
people wanting to
here.
get into the want to get involved in the industry
Hit
or
him
just
up
do that aspect of art. That's an
at
art.
LUVSMOKEYY.
Yep. On everything.
All right, fam. Well, we're going to go into our halftime break. We appreciate you once again for coming on. And, keep us informed of anything you got going on. We'll always promote it, promote that as well.
Yep.
Well, folks, you know how it goes. Our halftime midpoint break. We got 10 minutes of music bangerisms for you. We be back to talk a little shit. Build and destroy show.
Stand up. March with me. And 1, and 2, and 1, and 2. Mash on them. Stomp on them. Yeah, this that put on your boots, put on your backpack, lace them shit, I got you. In the longhouse, putting whale oil on the fire. I'm as heavy as a unit followed by 21 ciphers. So all I seeing is all I see. Much love to Sawa DZ. I'm icicle with spittle and riddle. Never stuck in the middle like a pickle. Y'all as soft as baby tickle. I drop a jewel, I drop a pearl. Like there are only 1,810 billionaires in the whole damn world. Real heads are jocking cause they knocking. Robbing from the rich, give it to the hood for problem solving. Hot damn, he spit a parallelogram. Heavy as a pair of elephants plotted in the sand. I thought you talk that talk, we walk that walk. I am Merriam-Webster with this molecular conjecture. I thought you knew though, this is studio judo.
You talk the talk and we walk the walk. You talk the talk and we walk the walk. You talk the talk and we walk the walk. And we walk the walk, how we build and destroy. You talk the talk and we walk the walk. You talk the talk and we walk the walk. You talk the talk and we walk the walk. And we walk the walk, how we build and destroy. We stir about fires and start new ones. The system we in is a decrepit building. Evacuate all adults and children. Destroy the foundation, then get to building. Labyrinth basement, pyramid ceiling. Bomb shelter laced with nuclear shielding. Pantry packed tight, last 20 years minimum. Temporary shelter while plans come to fruition. As the political pendulum swings from likable black man to an imbecile. Let's bring your A game front cover what's in the phone. Take aim in the scope. Maintain your energy. The racist war was never ended, so erase the enemy back into the pendulum. Shotgun, rifle, pencil, a knife move. All fights end in blood throughout history. You talk the talk and we walk the walk. You talk the talk and we walk the walk. You talk the talk and we walk the walk. And we walk the walk, how we build and destroy. You talk the talk and we walk the walk. You talk the talk and we walk the walk. You talk the talk and we walk the walk. And we walk the walk, how we build and destroy. Look, non-believers distorted by deceivers. BAD state of emergency called FEMA. Beat odds like I did Tina. Tacoma are arenas, rock spots like cheetahs. People feel us like indica or sativa. Beautiful family affair on these features. Haters dumbfounded, downright stupid. We stay well-rounded, circle of movements. Food for soul, sweet potato cool with no circus or lay. But we do this with cool flips. Cool J with the toothpick. Give haters the pool stick. HIV mixed with Ebola. AWOL too sick. Hit him with truthness. Jews when we spit. Blow it up like crack. In fact, we talk dope shit. Last life I was a pharaoh. Now I'm Janelle Green in thug apparel. Beat and bomber till you broken arrow. You talk the talk and we walk the walk. You talk the talk and we walk the walk. You talk the talk and we walk the walk. And we walk the walk, how we build and destroy. You talk the talk and we walk the walk. You talk the talk and we walk the walk. You talk the talk and we walk the walk. And we walk the walk, how we build and destroy.
These people, drug addicts. These people, drug addicts.
Income, can't get rich with one. If you ain't waking up to get it, you ain't making none. If you ain't waking up to get it, you ain't making none. If you ain't waking up to get it, you ain't making none. I need 6 income, can't get rich with one. If you ain't waking up to get it, you ain't making none. If you ain't waking up to get it, you ain't making none. I need 6 income, can't get rich with one.
On my woo, cash rules everything around me. Money over bitches, pox, said that's MOB. I'm still trying to make $1 out of 50. 15 cent. It's hard to be legit and stack monumental dead presidents. Mount Rushmore, cash flow. I take some green, buy some packs of green, turn that green into more green. Now I'm a green machine, hawking on these jugs. You won't like me when I'm angry. Beast mode in this concrete jungle. Not a nail, not a can stop, top or burst my bubble, rubble. Can burglar flow. I got these happy meals. Thank you, drive through. It's time to roll, it's time to go, it's time to hit the dough, it's time to let them know it's still. Fuck the popo, I'm going movie low, go for that De Niro. Scratch Skrilla way too narrow. 6 inch comes in 2020.
Six income, can't get rich with one. If you ain't waking up to get it, you ain't making none. If you ain't waking up to get it, you ain't making none. If you ain't waking up to get it, you ain't making none. I need 6 income, can't get rich with one. If you ain't waking up to get it, you ain't making none. If you ain't waking up to get it, you ain't making none. I need 6 income, can't get rich with one.
9 to 5 with the 401k shit. Still stack aluminum cans in the basement. Be patient, wait till the price rise. Catch the motherfuckers in at the right time. It's basic. Buy low, sell high, accumulate paper. Bank statement showing interest. Facebook ads build interest for your business. Services artistic, craftsmanship exquisite. Blasphemous to those that act religious. Bad in this bitch. Pay homage and pennies. We ain't mad at that. If you buy a ski mask and a new album, plastic rap for 20. But that was 2019. Now it's to 2020. So 25 please and gracias plus posthumous. Projects released like Tupacalypse. When it drop, reach into your pocket.
I need 6 income, can't get rich with one. If you ain't waking up to get it, you ain't making none. If you ain't waking up to get it, you ain't making none. If you ain't waking up to get it, you ain't making none. I need 6 income, can't get rich with one. If you ain't waking up to get it, you ain't making none. If you ain't waking up to get it, you ain't making none. I need 6 income, can't get rich with one. I need 6 income, can't get rich with one. If you ain't waking up to get it, you ain't making none. If you ain't waking up to get it, you ain't making none. If you ain't waking up to get it, you ain't making none. I need 6 income, can't get rich with one. If you ain't waking up to get it, you ain't making none. If you ain't waking up to get it, you ain't making none. I need 6 income, can't get rich with one.
It's funny, all of us didn't know what the beverage was, but Henry was trying to get like what was called, it's called like a
Hennessy and exotics and cannabis, you feel me? Sponsored. Build and destroy. We make noise. All praises due we to God. We made it through cause we beat the odds. All praises due we to God. All praises due we to God. All praises due we to God. We made it through cause we beat the odds. All praises due we to God. We made it through cause we beat the odds.
And if that ain't the truth, then I have a bridge to sell you. The booth is the proverbial shrink couch. The esoteric think tank is what the briefing's about. I'm as deep as the frequencies that the speakers vouch. In the event that the brainstorm receives the drought, regulate your hormones before you leave the house. I'm landing the upper echelon region clout. Respectable crafts, a reason heathens doubt. My testicles dragged to the street Enrica style. But I never drop the ball in moments needed now. The mechanical mind is guilty of diaspora. Walk afflicted with peace or reviving violent order. I'm sure fire with vibes is filled with silent aura. Mental fry restorer, different than you kinda sorta. I don't deal with confinement, I'm still inclining via psilocybin. I still to deal with something real and vibrant.
We made it through cause we beat the odds. All praises due we to God. All praises due we to God. We made it through cause we beat the odds. We made it through cause we beat the odds. Hey, we made it through cause we beat the odds. Hey, all praises due we to God. All praises due we to God.
My mind at ease cause I move with the cheese. Sitting with my belly full, them people ain't pleased. They gazed when they placed me in the maze. Mad cause I came out the rat race unfazed. They want me dazed and confused. Weak weak and abused, making up excuses why I always lose. Dad wasn't here, so this is my fear. I'm a failure like him, pass it all through all these years. Nah, here's the thing, I'm a king, you ain't stopping. Keep it moving, A-wall, get it popping. Gatekeeper, jaw dropping, I'm never flopping. You damn right, this nigga outsmart them. All praises due, cause we made it through. As the saying goes, mama ain't raised no fool to show what I'm made of. I'm anxious, flexing on the ages in the matrix. They hate this.
All praises due be to God. We made it through 'cause we hit the odds. All praises due be to God. All praises due be to God. All praises due be to God. We made it through 'cause we beat the odds. All praises due be to God. We made it through 'cause we beat the odds. We made it through 'cause we beat the odds. All praises due be to God. All praises due be to God. We made it through 'cause we beat the odds.
Yes, indeed. We are back at it once again. It's the Build and Destroy show. Wicked Meticulous, May Dolly, High Rise. Of course, technical difficulties always nonstop. But we back. Appreciate everyone in the chat. I know I can't.
Yeah, it's the homie Justin.
Okay.
Thurston County's Most Haunted. That's who's in the chat.
Okay.
That's your people. That's our peoples. Your peoples.
Yeah, he texted me. That's our people's.
Thurston
From-
County's most haunted music.
From hip. Is that just a hip hop fan that knows us or what?
He's somebody. He's another guy that I wanted to have as a guest in the future. He's an excellent guitarist and a songwriter.
Oh, down there you build with them sometimes. Got
Yeah.
it. Cool. Well, tell him thank you, man. It's
yeah.
it's dope to have people listening and on the chat. That's cool. It makes it better.
And we look forward to having him on as a guest in the future.
Yes, sir.
With that being said, we got a few topics on the agenda for the day.
That's cool. Good guess. Hey, good. I don't want to say good find, but I mean that's a big deal to have.
Yeah.
I mean, we've had big politicians on. We've had big hip hop people on. We've had big academics on, and I consider that a big actor. And I mean, he's right in the sense that Resball didn't totally cross over, but it kind of did.
Yeah, it's still.
I mean, of course, the
still on
average.
there.
Yeah, I mean, the average white person isn't going to recognize the people on Resball, but the average white person, if you were to ask them, tell me something about natives and basketball, they'd be like, "Oh, I watched Resball."
Right. They people forget they take stuff off of Netflix that doesn't perform well.
Dude, that was big. That was a number one thing on Netflix for a minute. And if it's number one on Netflix, it's number one entertainment in the country. It's up there. Whatever is on the top 5 Netflix things is, I mean, it's right up there. It's right up there with the movie theaters. Whatever's playing in the movie theaters, it's right up there.
Yeah.
All right. Well, May, since you brought the list of topics for today, I only got one. I'm going to save mine. Let's jump into yours first.
Well, yeah, it's weird because shouts to LeBron because he was executive producer for a Resball movie, but I wanted to bring him up because there's this T-shirt design that he has out. So LeBron back in the day, there was a time where he was playing and he had a mask on, and now there's a Nike shirt with him. And he's wearing the mask, but it looks like the Mad Villain cover. It looks like the MF Doom Mad Villain cover. And initially when I seen it, I was like, oh yeah, that's cool. That's a nod.
I just Googled it.
To MF Doom. But then the Doom side of me got mad. And I was like, why haven't we heard about his family or him getting money from something like that? I'm all for Doom praise and all that, but if you're not socking it to him and his family's pocket, I just don't like it. Because Doom's estate has been dealing with this shit for a long time. Like they got numerous lawsuits for stuff like this. They're trying to use they're using this man's likeness to make money and they're not socking it to the family's pocket, and that's the least you could do at this point. I get flipping it and having little creative flips, but this is Nike. Like, who knows what they'll make off this?
Makes me want to go to an NBA game and make a big sign, and that says LeBron and Nike pay the Doom estate, R.I.P. Doom.
And I know LeBron, like,
Hold it up.
he might just be into Doom just because he found out. I'm not convinced that he's a full Doom fan like that either. So I'm sensitive about Doom.
Good job showing those images up there, Wicked. You found that fast.
And it is, I don't know, timing is everything, right? So it's the 22nd anniversary of Mad Villain album. It came out like last week, 22 years ago. I don't like when people are playing games like that. I feel like they know stuff like that. Like they didn't just come out with that t-shirt just random
No, it's a clear likeness.
because LeBron likes Doom all of a sudden. I just feel like they'd be eating off of Doom, and every year the analytics show that album gets more popular with time. More people are finding out about it. I don't want Doom to be that commercialized product without them compensating.
Yeah. I have a little bit of fear of Doom crossing over into ridiculous
Yeah, he's almost like McDonald's now.
culture status. But I kind of feel like it already would have happened. He's
Do you think that
so
was his plan this whole time?
kinda, and he's so grounded that he still sounds like what you can't take that sound and change what it means. It's so raw that all they can do is sort of try maybe with his likeness, but that might have been his point. You know, go ahead and steal the mask.
Yeah.
It's not me and it's not the music, and that's the point. That's the marketable part.
Yeah.
And but the music can't be manipulated. And I think he might have done such a good job protecting his art with integrity, his sound, that it will stay, it won't it won't turn into a nursery rhyme, or it won't be ubiquitous or something like that. It's gonna stand for real underground lyricism and rappers. Even if it might pop up on a Toyota commercial or something. And yeah, but I hope his family gets compensated, of course. But I feel like he kind of protected himself sonically.
Yeah, I feel that.
And therefore spiritually. I can only hope.
I have I guess a slightly different take. Like I don't know what his thought process behind how he would want his art to be perceived, but I know having more people know your art doesn't diminish the art. Like that, I think at a certain point, having the label of like underground or something, it's like a badge of honor at a certain point. But I don't know. I think for him to make the type of music that he made, he built his own audience. And if that audience that appreciates his artwork grows, even, you know, yes, he should be compensated. That's a fact. But I don't think as an artist, I don't think he would be upset that more people enjoy his artwork. And if that's, you know, that takes him out of being considered underground, because now he's been put to a mainstream through capitalist structure. I don't think that diminishes him in any way, his artwork in any way. I would think he would probably just say, yo, run me my cash. Like, hell yeah. I appreciate this, LeBron James.
Okay.
You know, run me my ducats. That's it. Maybe, in fact, I think he would be smart enough to do direct collaboration. He would be smart enough to, even if he didn't reach out and be involved, he would make some sort of, he would have a song, instead of having the cartoon voices, it'd be using LeBron interviews shit. And he would make, you know, I just think he would be that creative with it. And yeah, as long as you run me my ducats, and you're not, it's not like they're making a mockery of him. It's a picture of LeBron James wearing the fucking facial protection mask, and they just made it black and white, and it put the little color dot on the corner and used the same text. It's clearly copying the album cover. There's no doubt about it. But I don't think that it's like overly commercializing anything. If anything, run these ducats, and maybe LeBron James is doing a mixtape, because that's something new that he thinks is a new business venture. Remember when there used to be a mixtape for like a video game and other, like, people, I don't know, even in the tours, every tour would have a mixtape, like the anger management tour mixtape.
You know what I'm thinking too, though, is like with how copyrights go nowadays, is the record label actually probably owns that image. You know, is that Stone's Throw maybe put that album out? But they would probably be the ones that would run a copyright hit on that image and recoup. And it would be up to them to break off the fam, you know? But I think that's when it does become overly commercialized, is when Doom's estate is not benefiting off of it, and they've lost the control of it. And I guess that'd be a sticky you know, a gray area with the album cover. But
yeah, I think they should get paid. There should be definitely money, but as far as control, that's more of, like, if you say you just don't want us to make a LeBron James shirt, like, all we really have to do is take off the label that says The Masked Menace in the type font, and then the colored square, and now it's just a picture of LeBron James wearing this mask. And now it defeats the purpose of the homage of, like, and if that's the case, then the family has all right. To me, I would say the family would have all right to say, we don't want it to resemble the cover. Well, okay, we'll just make it the LeBron James, have it the same picture. We'll turn it back to color instead of black and white. We'll take off the type font. We'll change it to a different font, or have an artist write The Masked Menace, because that was already, as far as I recall, that was that season. And on the back of the shirt, it shows all the dates that he played with the mask.
Like he's going on tour.
Yeah, no, that's if you looked at the website, that's what it is. It's like a tour shirt. It's like merch.
Mm-hmm.
So it actually fits the music. It fits the mold. But if you're saying, okay, now we can take that stuff off, but now that means you're not in the discussion anymore for the funds. And that may have been the purpose. LeBron James is not a dumb individual. He's not, from my understanding, someone that screws people over. He likes other people to get paid. He does things specifically for other people to get paid. He brought his whole crew. He's one of the only people that was able to make sure your crew comes with you, but not just being yes men. They all have their own positions and their own titles separate from him, and then we could still come together and do business ventures. So I would be surprised if he didn't already have that in his decision model. Like, yo, we make sure that the family is getting this X amount of dollars out of this. And if he didn't do that, then yeah, he should be highly criticized for it. Well, I guess that is a good segue to May's next topic about the Jazy Z interview. Because it was about 37 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't actually one interview. It was like two different sit downs cut together. But why don't you give us your thoughts since it's your topic?
I don't know. He brought up certain things not being a part of hip hop anymore, like graffiti and breakdancing, and I don't know. When I listened to it, I could hear where he was coming from, but he also sounded just disassociated. He sounded like that rich guy that was like too far from it, where he just didn't see it anymore, so he didn't think it existed anymore. But breakdance and graffiti are still active elements in the art form. You can't commute in the city without seeing new graffiti. We had breakdancing as an Olympic sport not too long ago. You can't just say that certain things just aren't there no more just because you don't see them.
Shit, his music's not there anymore.
Yeah.
Up until just now of these concerts, nobody was really pumping the Jay-Z catalog like that, really. So,
and he didn't identify consciousness as an element of hip hop. So I don't know. I don't want to trash him, but I just want to talk about what he didn't talk about that's still here. And the way that he was coming off is like they're lost or they're non-existent. But again, that's coming from his bird eye point of view. Like I don't know the heights that he views shit from, but I just felt a disconnect because everything that he said is missing is what I see every day.
I don't ever remember hearing Jay-Z rap about graffiti or
No.
or supporting b-boy culture, but I just think it shows kind of the difference between him and somebody like Nas, who still is on point. Nas dropped a song about graffiti, and everybody fucking loves it.
Yeah, writers.
So it just shows, yeah. And then Jay-Z gets on an interview with GQ and talks about how he doesn't think graffiti is something.
Yeah,
what a difference,
Yeah, I would have respected more if he was just like, hey, I'm a multi-billionaire. I'm not as tapped in as I used to be. I'm still like here to be a student and research versus like, oh, that's not even a thing.
I think those two takes on graffiti by those two different MCs kind of really illustrate where they are in the hip hop world. It's really is really evident.
Yeah, I agree.
It's like, okay, Nas, what do you think about graffiti? Oh, hold on, let me get a beat from DJ Premier and make the greatest graffiti song of all time. And then you go, Jay-Z, what do you think about graffiti? Oh, I don't see it anymore. Damn.
Yeah.
That's not even two sides of the same coin. One is totally in touch and one's washed. But New York will still come out for his concerts because it's still Jay-Z. Like, he still has a catalog that people will enjoy. You know, but he's gonna have to live off that old shit. I don't, you know, Nas doesn't. Nas can do whatever he wants. He can perform Illmatic or he can do new shit. People will go. But like, I didn't listen to the whole interview front, like every single thing, but I definitely paid attention to the reactions, and people just, you just feel like Jay's time is coming sort of to an end, and people just, he's just not revered.
Well, I kind of took a different approach to, I did listen to the full interview, but I also came in after hearing and reading other folks' responses and interpretations. So I kind of already, I knew all of the negative talking points that people had brought up. So that, trying to overcome that and still listen to it, I think I overcompensated to try to hear positive things that I thought were beneficial to artists in particular. In all honesty, it sparked and re-sparked a theme of us talking about stuff and then the other people talking about it, or it coming up later. And certain things in this realm, of course, we're talking about an interview. Everyone's going to have a take on it. But it made me think about me and May in particular talking when I was at his house last week. And we were talking about art and us changing our perception of and being willing to give our art some sort of worth, as opposed to treating it as just it's free for consumption. Like giving value. That was the word we were talking about, was how do we give value to our art? And that being a struggle, not knowing how to properly value things. Let's say this painting behind me. You know, how do you come to and calculate a value? You don't get it for free. The canvas costs money before any paint goes on it. The paint costs money. And then it's a May Dolly painting. You don't get it for free. So us as artists, we, specifically in the hip hop world, we were talking about pricing for merch, actual physical art, specialty vinyl releases, and the shows themselves. We were talking about, you know, the show, having a free show versus, and I brought this up specifically because Tiani, after her birthday, she went to a show that the tickets started at $300. And it wasn't Michael Jackson.
And it's not a plane ticket. And it's not a plane ticket.
No, it's a show in Seattle. It's a ticket for a show in Seattle.
It's not a hotel room connected either.
So watching that interview, that was the first thing, or one of the biggest things that stood out to me is from the positive outlook was he spoke about just valuing being compensated for artwork, and that piece is one positive thing that I pulled out because it was something that me and May were literally talking about last week before this interview dropped. We were talking about that. And I think that is an important thing to pin down, especially as we're trying to embark on, little outgoing to where we're not technically booking it, but we need to develop and have these skills to properly value it, to do the negotiation for, hey, we need to get 80-20 door split, or we need to get X amount from the bar, or whatever that may be, so that we are properly compensated for our outing to whatever event that we're performing at. And it takes time and energy to try and do it, but it's important because we got to do it for this next generation. So as Tiani is going out, as Eli builds up his skill level, even our guest, he's much younger than us.
Yeah, true.
But we got to, it's important for us to be the elder statesmen to build up our skill sets. And some of that starts with reprogramming our mind to not feeling like we should just give all of our artwork away to everyone for free. And that's the best way to go about it. So that was probably the biggest positive thing that I took away from that interview. And yeah, I can jump on any of the negative. He said quite a few things that were out of pocket, I thought. But I thought it was important for that interview to happen, for us to hear it, to hear this type of perspective from someone as illustrious as Jay-Z in hip-hop, what he has done, not taken away from anything he has done. But this interview is like he's being honest, but it showed, like you said, that point of view. I think there's a definite disconnect from him at that high level seat, bird's eye view that he's seeing things from, to where we're at.
And just to play, just to add to what you say though, Wicked, is that, it is, of course, our art needs to be and should be compensated. Our work should be compensated. But it's like, is that all Jay has, is to lecture us on capitalism's role in art? Like, he
Maybe.
is a capitalist. Of course he's going to talk about how art should be attached to money, because that's what he views art as. It's a commodity that's gotten him rich. So yeah, he can provide insight into that. And that's important because we do have to eat, and we should eat off of our work. But that's still a capitalistic take on hip hop provided by a billionaire. You know what I mean? And it's true what he's saying, but it's like, we're hearing a rich person talk about a rich person's view of hip hop.
Yeah, he said he never took advantage of anybody.
Listen,
he didn't.
I'm not disagreeing with you. I said, I heard all the negative talking points. I don't want to. I can delve in and pile on that. I listened, and that was the one one big thing that stood out to me was just that, yes, everything you're saying is correct. But I don't want to listen to the broke person, the starving artist, to tell me about how to make money on my artwork. Like,
true, he's the person to learn that from,
yeah,
definitely. But I just wonder at this point, like, we get that. We know that he's like the quintessential businessman. I kind of feel like the point of that interview and like what we're all waiting for is to hear something deeper than that. What does Jay-Z think about besides fucking money and
well,
wealth?
I think your question, though,
That's what I'm saying. Like,
I have
we're
never
sick
been a
of hearing
Jay-Z
his
fan.
ass talk about rich money shit.
Listen, I've never been a Jay-Z fan. I like the 444, and there's a few songs outside of that. That 444 album, I thought was tremendous for when it dropped and what it meant. But again, that is all of his albums are talking about money. Like, that's part of why I was never a great Jay-Z fan.
Yeah.
But if that's like, this is important for me right now,
right,
in my position,
because we need money.
I need money. I would like to figure out how I can build my life around making money from my art. And if that means, yes, I will make less money than I do at my job, I understand that. If I have to cut down my expenses, I understand that. But I feel at this stage in my life that is more important. It's important to figure this out. And if I'm just doing everything for free, then I'm just working. I'll never get to the stage to make money from artwork. So I don't disagree with you in any way. This is about money. He's the capitalist. He's the billionaire. I don't care about his opinion on anything deeper. I didn't care about this interview. I watched it today because it was a topic. So I carved out the time to learn what the topic was, to study it.
I brought both of them up because there needs to be an element of journalism in these interviews. Like, I'm tired of these artists that are showing up for these interviews where they wrote the question and the answer for the interview. You could tell. The J. Cole interview with Nadeska was like that. It was really boring. It got nowhere. It was just him talking about stuff we already knew. The Jay-Z one was kind of like that. I just miss interviews where people would ask good questions that get to the nitty-gritty. So like tonight's guest where he's like, yo, ask me anything, I'm ready. I like guests like that. A lot of these artists that are so high up, they actually want to facilitate the energy and the questions of the interview. They have so much like micromanagement of every facet of that stuff that it doesn't come off as authentic or free or genuine. It's all manufactured. So I want a Jay-Z interview any day, but I want it raw and I want it hip hop. I want it without the antics of don't ask me this, you can't ask me this, but this is the answer, this is how deep I'll go. Like, all these guys are playing that angle now, and it's getting really lame to enjoy.
Yeah.
There's just too much like prefabrication that's happening in the interview spaces. Like, you could tell.
I think you're right, and I don't think that interview went over well for that reason. You know, I think it just it's too much. It's a GQ interview with the richest person.
It's so safe.
Yeah, and the interviewer hasn't been around long enough to ask any challenging questions or to press them on anything or to just dive deep into hip hop. It's just some kid. And yeah, I just think like the public was just like, this is not what we've been waiting for. This guy barely talks to us, and now he does on a throne on GQ. It's rich tacky.
And I still like I said on that episode when we were talking about 50th anniversary, I'm still tight because Jay-Z wasn't at the 50th anniversary of hip hop. He was at like a Tom Brady event or like some kind of football event. But I'm still tight just from that. Like I feel like he turned his back on certain aspects of hip hop, and that's why he doesn't see them.
Listen,
Like you don't see them because you walked away from them. But that's different from they just don't exist. You you chose not to see that anymore.
I'll have to kind of agree with. I think where Josh was getting at. I don't think he ever had any concern with any of that with hip hop at all. I think he was a business person from the beginning. He realized that rapping was a way to make money. He was good at rapping, so I'm going to make money. Now that I made enough money off rapping, I can do other stuff and just keep making money. So to come back and
This is
talk,
more like a laundering thing. It was a money laundering thing.
Yeah, so I don't look to him to give me any gems on hip hop culture. If I want that, I'm gonna hit up KRS-One.
Yeah, I think that's appropriate to acknowledge that Jay-Z exists and now to give us financial knowledge. You know? But yeah, when it comes to a love of hip hop, not him.
I 1,000% agree. I think that's why the interview. I think that's why people are so mad.
And that's why it was a GQ interview and not a Juan Ep interview or a interview on any type of hip hop venue or medium.
Okay, well that turns us to our next interview, the J. Cole and Camron saga. This one,
that's the one that I like.
This one I didn't have to go back and watch because I was on to. I'm on top of this.
That one was fresh.
Well,
that one had. Yeah, no, that one had the organic feel of an interview where Nadeska interviewing J. Cole. That shit was like an hour and a half. It was boring. Like, I try to respect Cole as a human and artist, but that one was so tough to sit through because, again, it was just so manufactured. It felt like McDonald's. Camron, he asked all the stuff that we wanted Nadeska to ask. That one was a little bit more palatable and entertaining.
Well,
but at the same time, J. Cole, he talks a lot. He talks in circles.
Thank you. Well, that was my comment. Like, he's not a good interview giver.
He not.
That's what I got because I didn't watch any of the other ones, Nadesco or whoever else he interviewed with. I watched that because I fuck with the It Is What It Is show, so I subscribe to their channel. So I'm gonna see that J. Cole. I mean, they did a rollout for the video for the interview. Like you see the clip. What's next? Cameron's gonna be talking to J. Cole. It shows him walking in the studio like. He's like, "What's up? What's up, man?" It's like, "You gonna sue me, Cam? A lawsuit?"
Yeah.
Like that was clearly produced or rehearsed. That part of it. Like I want you to walk in and surprise me, because he's clearly not even talking about anything.
Yes.
So, but the interview itself.
Better questions for sure.
It was better questions, but it made me realize it doesn't matter who's interviewing J. Cole.
But
it's not.
Yeah, you can see why he don't. Yeah, you can see why
he's a person. You gotta get his interview in the Vibe magazine. We don't need to see this interview. We need to just get the bullet points.
When you see, I know I hate to keep bringing this up, but like when you see J. Cole sort of just not coming across great and Jay-Z not coming across great. Nas doesn't have that problem. He really is the fucking GOAT, I think. At this point, I feel like he really has been around the longest and stayed on top the sharpest and doesn't do dumb shit. It doesn't make mistakes.
He's like quiet. He's quiet luxury to me. He's very quiet luxury.
He just doesn't piss people off. He knows how to present himself. And, I just think it takes a while for the world to catch up. And someone like J. Cole comes out and yeah, he's a decent rapper. And he's got this, when he's got a record labels behind him at first, and Jay-Z's got a lot of stuff behind him at first. And it's easy to hide people's corniness for a while. It's easy for a lot of people to hop on a moving train that's going in the right direction. But, like once the train slows down a little bit and people have a time to really just be with what this product is, it's easy after a while to be like, yeah, Jay-Z is kind of corny and J. Cole is kind of corny. And I just think like we live in a world now where that's just what's happening. And I think it's kind of good, because for a long time you had people like P. Diddy not having to confront his corniness and much less his horribleness. But a lot of people in different aspects of hip hop who didn't have that same aesthetic always thought those type of people had a corniness to them. And now it's just like the masses are seeing. Of course, Jay-Z will always have his fans, but he's not bulletproof anymore. His image is not bulletproof anymore. There's a large group of people that are like, this is cheesy.
Yeah.
And I think that will grow. That part of Jay-Z will grow.
Well, it's to me, it's more of a downfall. Because it's not like there are new people in the world discovering Jay-Z and thinking he's corny. It's the people that already know him, thought he was cool, and now they're like, hold on, this. So I guess I don't get to fall into that category because I didn't. Like I said, I didn't never really like Jay-Z. There might have been 2 songs that I thought was cool, but then that 444 album, I did enjoy that album. I thought it was great. Outside of that, I'm not really a Jay-Z fan. J. Cole, probably same. Like maybe 2 or 3 songs that he's had that I thought were cool, pretty good songs, but I wasn't bumping. I couldn't even name you all of his albums or even half of them. I know the Forest Hill Drive and the Fall Off. That's 2. That's the first and the last. Those are the ones that I know. But yeah, as far as the corniness, this actually is a good segue to it's not even topic, it's more of a question that I have. And this will lead into the non-corniness. Do you know what duck sugar is?
No.
Well, there's no such thing as duck sugar. So this is just going to segue to the Joe and Jada show, their podcast. They had the Locks on. So Jada Kiss, he's part of the Locks. They finally brought Sheik Luch and Styles P on for the episode, and Styles P is on the hella health-wise, health-conscious tip. And he was going off on him for a minute. And it's like they kept going to hip-hop and then somehow circling back around to some health shit. So, like, it was hella funny because you could clearly see that the Locks are really, they hang out and kick it and that they just talk shit all the time. And then you could see that Fat Joe, like, he knew them too. So it really felt like we're actually right now sitting in on these guys like as if the cameras weren't there and there's not a show. Like these guys would be talking about this bullshit. You're trying to talk about some hip hop topics, and then somehow Styles P gonna bring up somehow it veers back around to health and food. So he was like, he was given just the tips on what you could do, because Fat Joe was talking about some new medicine. See, he's all on the medicine shit to go from Fat Joe to regular Joe, or still Big Joe. He does the medical shit, the Ozempic shots. He was talking about some other thing on diabetes, some monitor on his arm. So he's like, Styles P is like, well, you know, the way to address diabetes and high blood sugar, you know, there's things that you can do. And he said something and duck fat. And the conversation he kept saying it though, like he didn't realize that Fat Joe thought he meant that there is something called duck fat, but he was saying duck fat, like stay away from it. You duck it. You're trying to hide from it.
You got duck fat.
Yeah, but he kept saying it though, and that it just was so funny because it kept going, and it exemplified non-corniness, because they're just talking, they're just friends talking.
We got to see a funny misunderstanding.
Yes.
Yeah, that is funny.
But and Styles P is talking about it very passionately because he's hella into the health shit. So it's like if you watch the whole episode, they circle back around to the health shit a bunch of times. It's like, and that was just the icing on the cake was duck sugar. I said duck fat, duck sugar. It's like, you got to duck sugar. He's like, duck sugar? I don't know about the duck sugar. No, you got to duck sugar. Like, if you have high blood sugar, don't eat shit with sugar. Like that's kind of a common sense. It should be, but sometimes you got to over exemplify. Well, that was all I had was duck sugar.
That's funny.
Well, hey, it looks like our sound was okay today.
Seemed good to me.
We didn't have any people saying that they couldn't hear us in the chat, so that's always good. That's a plus.
Sure.
And I've been looking up these new pieces of equipment to get. I'm gonna hold off on ordering this stuff because I'm really trying to save up and be prepared. I got an appointment to go get my passport. I'm trying to execute that. So,
hell yeah.
All right. Well, you guys got any last tidbits before we close out of the YouTube streamery?
Yes. Happy spring to all.
Yeah.
Happy real New Year's. This is the real New Year's. Springtime.
True that. I don't have any guests lined up. I had a bunch, the last couple of weeks, month. So I'd give my little booking brain a breather. But
Okay. Yeah,
that's the only reason there's still people from Tacoma I want to talk to. So
yeah, I got folks, man.
But anybody can get on here
in
in a couple of weeks. I don't have anyone booked. So May, like
well,
you
we
did
got
today,
Tiani coming
cool.
back.
Yeah, I want to get
not next week, but the week after, April 12th.
Okay.
So next week is open, April 5th.
Okay.
Anyone...
I want to get Mike Myth on here, and I want to get Boombox Massacre on here.
Oh, that's good. I know I can get Louis too. That's pretty big. But I talked to him today about some stuff. So
Yeah, we're not
And
even
somewhere down the line, MC Savage. He's another one.
All right.
What about we could shout out Mac Driss. I thought that was a really good show, especially for a Thursday. I didn't stay super long, but it was crowded as I was leaving, and he does know how to set up sound and audio. And I thought the artists sounded good live. They sounded good when I checked out the page at home, and the handful of artists we stayed for, I thought were pretty dope. So I thought that shit was good execution there.
Yeah, shout out to Mac Drees, K Dub, Drew P, the squad. Hopefully, hey, the next one you might see us up on there. You never know.
We do got shows coming up, but to be announced.
Hey, well, I'm gonna jump on trying to get. I think I'm gonna go ahead and just potentially figure out the booking for the art gallery.
Yeah,
I have to see. I have to at least go down there and check it out and see if there's going to be additional sound that we need. And end up probably hitting up Mac Drees to see if he can assist on that. But yeah, please tap in with us. We're going to be showing you why we are on here doing a podcast on hip hop, because we fucking will blow up your stage for your hometown. So we're going to show you that. So get prepared. Get your what's it called? Eclipse glasses ready. Because when the eclipse happens, you can't look directly at it. You know, it seems like there's not that much light, but it's so bright, it'll burn your eyeball. All right, y'all. We'll be back next week. Build and Destroy show every Sunday around 5 p.m. We go live. Peace.